So today I'm at Upcycle in Johannesburg with Winnie Mchenry, who I have known, I think, for 20 years. I think it's been that long.
Yeah, it has.
So I am super excited to be able to tell your story today as part of our story because I'm such an admirer of your work. So if you could tell us the origin story of this place, how did it all begin?
The origin story. Okay, that's a long story. But essentially I studied interior design and then halfway through that process I realized that the only way to actually do interior design is to be able to market yourself to people.
Yes.
And 20 years ago I did not like people. I was terrified of people.
Yes.
So that talking to people was a problem for me. So I ended up working in different jobs, and one of the jobs I ended up in was at the career center, and they used to place people on learnerships, venture creations learnerships, which for me was amazing because I've always been somebody that loves teaching people how to do stuff, but I'm also very creative. So anything from mosaic, candle making, decoupage, all of the craft skills, I was very good at all of those things. So I realized in the venture creations learnership that they teach people all the business skills, marketing, design, all of that, but they didn't really teach you after that what kind of business to start.
Yes.
They had all the skills to run a business, but you didn't know what business to do.
Yes.
So I used to spend my weekends and stuff going into different communities and teaching people how to make mosaics, candle making and that kind of thing.
Yes.
But then really quickly realized that people don't take the money that they have once they've made the product and put it back into growing their business.
Yes.
They have to feed their family.
Yes.
South Africa, we really have that problem of like, people need to eat.
Yes.
So that was the perfect space for me to go, well, I can actually save the planet, which is one of my biggest passions,
Yes.
by teaching people how to actually make money from taking the waste that's freely available,
Yes.
turning that into a craft product,
Yes.
selling that product,
Yes.
taking all the money, feeding their family, and then taking more waste and starting again.
Yes.
They didn't have to put the money back into their resources.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I started basically teaching one or two people, anybody that was a willing victim, to come and let me teach them how to do stuff. And that's kind of how Upcycle grew. So I initially started a website called Crafty Corner.
Yes.
And
Yes, I remember that well. And that was the early days of the internet when there were lots of people building websites and things and like places where other artists could share their stuff and all of that.
Yes.
I remember that very clearly.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I actually think that's how we met.
Yes, that
because-
was how we met. That was how we met.
Yeah, because when I found your tie-dye stuff, I got hold of you and said, let me put you on the Crafty Corner directory.
Yes, yes,
So
I
it was
remember that.
a directory of craft-related stuff, but I also had a recycling section because I had a passion for like trying to divert waste from landfill. But people didn't understand it. They didn't understand what recycling, what it was doing in a craft space, especially 20 years ago.
Yes.
So then in like 2006, when I heard the term upcycling, I thought, okay, it's a good idea to start a separate business specifically called upcycling or upcycle, because people would then understand what it meant.
Yes.
But people had no idea what it meant back then.
Okay.
Even recycling, they didn't understand.
Has that changed today, do you think?
It's definitely changed. So over the last 3 years, I would say, people are starting to understand the term.
Okay.
But corporate governance and stuff is starting to make companies understand that they have to actually divert their waste from landfill instead of just landfilling it. They're also getting penalized for doing that.
Okay.
And the DTI is also trying to make sure that people find other solutions rather than landfilling it.
Okay. That's so interesting.
Yeah, and also with the circular economy kicking in and all of that,
Yes.
there's been a lot more move towards green.
Yes.
So companies are starting to try and be more green, and so now the term upcycling is like everyone's doing it. So everyone's like, oh, you should upcycle. I'm like, yay, people are finally understanding what I've been trying to tell them for the last 20 years. So that's kind of how we ended up here, is teaching somebody, getting them to make product. In the beginning, the only way to get people to understand upcycle was to make a really sexy product.
Yes.
So people could see the product and go, oh, I like the product.
Yes.
And then you'd get the opportunity to tell them the backstory.
Yes.
So as much as my passion is training, I could never really find anyone to help me teach people because they didn't understand the value. So I had to create the product for them to see the value.
Yes. Yes.
And
so you're actually a very, very good product designer.
Yeah. Yeah, so we spend a lot of our time taking stuff and designing and playing with items, and maybe you can call it as a designer, but I think it's more about playing, like really just fiddling, and the more you play, the more you design different things, and it ends up like that.
So Anja said an interesting thing in our interview earlier, where she mentioned that she's surrounded by a community of adults where their inner child is still alive and well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, we all love playing in the mud and doing really messy stuff.
Okay.
So what I usually do, I'll say to a group of people, like, if we're going to design something, somebody wants us to do something with milk bottles or whatever.
Yes.
Because we have so much stuff available, it's best to literally take everything out of the room, take everything off of the table, and only put milk bottles there.
Yes.
And you're not allowed anything else.
Yes. So any other distractions?
Yeah. No distractions. All we're going to think about is a milk bottle.
Yes.
So then you think about how I can use a milk bottle in my kitchen, how I can use it in my bathroom, in the garden, whatever. And you play and play and play, and then you come up with ideas, and that's how you design stuff.
Yes.
So it's a process of playing, really. So,
Yes. So you found a way to play all day.
I did. The problem is I don't play anymore. Now I'm adminning everything, and I'm not playing, and everyone else gets to play.
Okay.
So it's not as fun for me anymore, but I enjoy now more the actual development of the people to get them to be able to make products and whatever. So it's really, I started with really trying to teach people how to make a difference with waste, but I've also realized that people need to have value in themselves. They need to understand their self-worth.
Yes.
So with giving somebody self-worth, they actually are able to then present their product, because you can give them the best and the most beautiful product, but if they don't have confidence to go and show anybody that product, it's not going to go anywhere.
Yes.
So now it's really, for me, about trying to get people to understand that their worth actually can make money.
Yes.
And then the product is a byproduct of it, but it helps tell the full story.
That sounds like work that will take time.
It does take time.
How long do you feel it takes to incubate somebody who just comes off the street through the new skills, but not only through the skills they need in their hands, but the personal skills that they need to start a business effectively?
That's a piece of string, because it totally depends on the person when you first meet them, because learning the skill is easy.
Yes.
So depending on how big a product range you want to develop, but if you want to just make one particular item and sell that item, that can be done in a matter of weeks.
Yes.
But if you want to be an expert in like a sewing department or something like that, then it takes years, because there's so much learning that there is.
Yes.
So then that learning aspect is there, but at the same time, there's a lot of like, do you understand money? Do you value money? Do you value your time? Do you understand how to cost stuff?
Yes.
And there's a lot of building the business and the product and the person.
Yes.
So for me, it's like a year of learning, and then at least 2 to 3 years of self-development. But at least for me, I think it takes about 10 years to be able to take somebody that's never ever even thought about becoming an entrepreneur.
Yes.
To eventually go, okay, cool, I'm ready to just do this on my own without any help.
Yes. Yes.
So yes, you can run your own business quite soon, but you need a support system. I mean, we all need. We're not meant to be single people.
Yes.
We always need to have family around us as normal people. So in a business, you need family as well, and that's like a business family that helps you through all those crazy things that happen in the business world that, some of us are just going, oh, I don't want that.
So what I'm finding interesting about this conversation, because 10 years, that's a decade, that's a very long time. Do you think that maybe that's why so many skills programs fail, is that they don't take that timeline into account, that they want to package everything for people and go, okay, here's a 2-month or a 6-month process, and after this you need to be okay?
Yeah, no, definitely. I think it's got a lot to do with it, but I also think a lot to do with it is basically making sure that the person that comes onto a skills program actually wants to do what you getting them into the program for.
Yes.
And then during that program, actually finding who they are as a person and what they're good at.
Yes.
And then developing them as a person with the product that they're good at, rather than going, you will do this way and you will end up getting this product right.
Yes.
You have to, like, I'll teach a bunch of like, say, 20 people. We're all learning upcycling and all going through design thinking, but we're not all going to end up with the same result.
Yes.
I'll find that this person has affinity for paper and this one likes doing beads and stuff. And then
Yes.
how can I use what you're good at, what you're comfortable with as a person right now,
Yes.
and develop you into that space with that skill into a person. So the
Yes.
training is not just training, it's understanding people and growing them into what they feel comfortable
Yes.
in.
So it sounds quite customized, actually. You're serving the people who come to you. You're not going, here, I've got a course and I'm going to push it on you. You're going, who am I working with? What do they need? And how do I best serve those needs?
Exactly. And that's why the biggest challenge for us is getting funding to be able to do that, because nobody wants to invest that amount of time and money into it, because it's also not a standard operating procedure. There's no unit
Yes.
standard to say this is how it's going to be done.
Yes.
It's a personal product
Yes.
development. So
Yes, you're going to invest this and you're going to get that out.
It doesn't work like that. You're
Yes.
going to invest in the person, and who knows what amazing stuff can happen. So there's
Yes.
no actual product.
Yes.
There's lots of product, but the product isn't what we're trying to do. We're trying to get the person to be the best version of themselves.
Yes.
So
Yes.
it's impossible to sell that to somebody. It's just, that's why
Yes.
we are mostly self-funded.
Okay. So self-funded, all the things you make here go into the store. The money that you make from those sales then goes back into the center to pay salaries, to do training and all of that.
Yeah.
So you don't have any grants coming in from anywhere,
Nothing.
no DTI funding, nothing like that.
No funding, no grants, none of those things.
So you are the self-reliant source of everything we see here.
Well, no, not really. The people that are making the stuff are,
Yes.
like collectively,
Okay.
as Upcycle, all of us are what makes it work.
Okay. And how do you get everybody here to understand their role in making that sustainable machine continue?
It's through the process, like everybody, because everyone comes in at different stages, whatever.
Yes.
So people that are already here already help impart those skills to new people, whatever.
Okay.
And we all just get to learn each other and know each other, and then try and help
Okay.
each other grow into a space. So there's basic rules of like, we all need to clean the bathroom or whatever,
Yes.
but
Yes.
everything is a self-explored journey of personal growth. So it's
Okay.
impossible to give you an answer to that question.
Okay, so nobody here has necessarily fixed roles. Everybody's allowed to play, explore,
Yeah.
learn, do teach, all of that.
Yeah, so we do have kind of people that are good at training because they've been here forever. So like Sim and Gillian May do a lot of the training and stuff.
Okay.
But I would like everybody to ultimately become trainers and go and off and start a community center in their own community, and then run an upcycle space
Yes.
where they are.
Yes.
So the idea is basically everybody's their own entrepreneur,
Yes.
and hopefully they'll get to a point where they're ready to go, cool, I can reinvent this wheel
Yes.
in my community and do the same thing, teach those people to become trainers where they are.
You're giving me such goosebumps. What I can't understand is why the idea has taken so long to catch on.
Yeah, and I think it comes back to that original problem of me not being able to talk to people. I think if I had more of the ability to just network and go to places and talk to people, it would be easier.
Okay.
But I don't, because I'm stuck here doing the doing,
Yes.
not going out there doing the talking.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, you're talking to us now,
Yeah.
and we fully intend to amplify this message. So
Awesome.
for anybody watching, if you think this is a great idea, Winnie's here to support, and I will put all of her details in the descriptions of the video
Awesome.
that you can contact her
Brilliant.
directly.
Thank you very much. That's awesome.
Thank you for your time.
Cool.
It has been amazing to see how you do what you do here. I admire you to the ends of the earth. No, really, genuine. I've known you for 20 years, and I know how tough it is in the trench you're in, and you persevere.
Yeah.
When others have started centers and closed them down because it got hard,
Yeah.
you kept yours going. So really, well done. Well done for that.
Awesome. Thank you.
Sure.
Thanks very much for your time.